Hey guys, I hope all is well. I'm feeling so emotional today, and I don't know if it's because it's raining and cloudy and my dog isn't feeling well, but it's like my heart is so heavy today, and I don't like feeling like this. My health is not where I want it to be. Of course, you guys know I'm on dialysis and I need a kidney transplant, but uh the Monday before Christmas, this graft is what I use for my dialysis. It keeps me alive, it's my lifeline. It clotted, it was non functioning, and I had to go in for it was literally an emergency procedure to open it up. So they couldn't start an IV. I was stuck 5 times by 3 different people, and so they started the procedure without sedation. And oh my gosh, you guys, it was horrible. Even though they did numb the skin, I could feel all the pressure. And the procedure should have taken about 20 to 30 minutes, and it went over 2 hours because the doctor could not find a vein. And that was the only way to get this thing opened up, is to connect it to a new vein. And that's one of the things that happens to people when they're on dialysis for a very long time. And I've been on dialysis for a total of 23 years. And I started in 1992 when I was 18. I turned 18 July, and I started in August. And I stayed on dialysis for 16 years, 3 days a week, every week, for my whole adult life until I was 34 years old. When I turned 34, I got a kidney transplant. The thing about that transplant was it was from a deceased donor, and the kidney had something called acute tubular necrosis, which means the filters which filter your blood and make urine for the person, they were very damaged. And the kidney also had something called hydronephrosis, which makes it look like a balloon, like when you blow a flat balloon up. So they rushed me back to surgery only hours after putting the kidney in. And then I was told the kidney would only last a year, maybe. I kept it for 10 years. It was so hard, but I refused with everything in me to go back on dialysis. It was my first time being free of that machine in my entire adult life. And so I drank a gallon and a half of water every single day. And you guys, if I shied by one bottle of water, my creatinine would go up. It would just skyrocket. And so that's a measure of how well the kidney is functioning. And it would go from 1.5 to 5 in one day if I didn't drink enough. And so I did. And that's how I was able to keep it for 9 years longer than they thought I would. And so finally the kidney failed completely, because it started failing, to be honest. It started failing 5 years in, but it wasn't to the point where I had to get back on dialysis. So in May of 2018, I started dialysis again. And go look at the video where I said he should have been arrested. That talks about when I went back on dialysis, the day that I had emergency surgery to start treatment again. It was one of the most horrific times. And I'm not going to go into, you guys go watch the video because it still hurts today. It hurts to talk about. I was so horribly violated by that surgeon, and he never faced any repercussions, nothing. He got away scot-free, like my grandmother used to say. So anyway, when I went to have my graft declotted the Monday before Christmas, of course, I told you guys they couldn't find a vein. Finally, they found one. I mean, I was praying so hard, like it was taking so long, and I was like, what is happening? Like, please tell me what is wrong. I know something's wrong. And that surgeon from Lafayette, Louisiana is amazing. You guys, if you have a family member who is starting dialysis, Dr. John Luke at in Lafayette, Louisiana, uh, is amazing, kind, caring, patient, and just all around an excellent person. And I truly believe that he doesn't see color, or he sees us with the eyes that God gave him to see other human beings with love and kindness. But anyway, so finally they found a vein. Everyone was excited. And so that was the Monday. So Christmas Day, I started getting sick. By that Friday, I could not go to dialysis. Um, I was in such horrible pain. I couldn't take in a deep breath. I couldn't even sniff. Like, you know, I had a runny nose, and I couldn't do that because it hurt so bad in my ribs and my lungs. So I went to urgent care. They put me on antibiotics. They didn't do any x-rays or anything. They sent me home on antibiotics. And thank God my doctor had given me something for pain like 3 months before, and I still had some of that medicine. Um, so I took that, and I was taking the antibiotics, but I was still not able to do anything, you guys. I could barely walk. I could barely talk. It hurt to breathe. So finally, I went to dialysis that Sunday, which we don't usually have dialysis on Sundays, but because it was the holidays, they changed the schedule. So I went that Sunday. I barely remember it because I was in so much pain. That's all I can remember, is the amount of pain that I was in. And couldn't take in a deep breath, like I said, because you know when you get there, they want to hear your lungs to make sure you don't have fluid. Couldn't do any of that. Had my treatment. And then my husband Alex, he was like, look, you don't have dialysis tomorrow, we're going to the doctor. So went to the doctor, called early that morning. My mother met me. My mother and her husband met me at the hospital because Alex ended up having to go to work. They met me at the hospital. They stayed with my dog outside while I went and had x-rays and different things done. And then they also stayed with him outside of the doctor's office for me to get my results. And it showed that I had alveoli that were collapsed in my lung. So I had like a little bit of a collapsed lung, atelectasis, and you know, they were thinking that was the whole deal. So I was again given antibiotics and a blood test called D-dimer. It shows if you have a blood clot in your lungs or something somewhere. So that's what they were thinking, it was a blood clot, because I had that procedure and it took longer than normal. So the blood test to check for the protein that the blood clot leaves in your body was over 1,000. It was extremely high. So all the pain came from a blood clot in my lungs. So now I'm on medication for that. The medication for the blood clot is causing me to have some bleeding in my abdomen again, which I hadn't had in a while. So all of these things are happening. And yes, I'm feeling better. I can talk, I can breathe, I can sniff, I can walk. All of these things are happening in quick succession. It's like after one thing happens, another thing, another thing, another thing. And then my husband gets sick. We were both in the doctor's office this past Monday. Had to miss dialysis and go back to the doctor. He is newly diagnosed with diabetes. Didn't know like what was going on with him, but he just wasn't well. So we have a lot going on, but y'all, I know I feel down, but I just want to let y'all know, all these years, 40 years of lupus, A lot of people don't live past 5 to 10 years with the lupus. 40 years. God has kept me going. Fibromyalgia, 15 years. The Lord has helped me through all of that pain because it is so painful. I had breast cancer. Both of my breasts. These are implants, and I'm going to have them taken out because I'm scared this might be causing my joints and stuff to swell because I have swollen joints now. So, you know, it's been one thing after another. But like I said, the Lord has kept me going. My faith in God. And I don't always understand why. Some of us go through so much. And you look at other people and they just, it seems like they just breeze by. Even when they're, in Europe, in my opinion, not such a good person. It seems that nothing happens to them. But we don't know what other people are really going through. And it's better if we worry about us and our family members and the people that we love and care about. And strangers, if we can help them, but not try to put ourselves in other people's situations and wonder why this person who doesn't seem like a good person doesn't suffer. But I try so hard and I still suffer so much. I have to keep putting myself back in the place to know and never forget how much the Lord has taken me through. How many times I have been told that I was not going to live. And He's brought me through it so many times, you guys. I really can't even count how many times. I have been sedated or fully put under anesthesia over 60 times in my life. And I've even woken up during surgery. The doctor himself told me that I was awake, and I knew that that it wasn't a dream. I could feel everything that was being done to me. And the only reason why they knew that I was awake is because my heart rate climbed, and it was like, you know, because they paralyze your body when they put you fully under. And so they knew my vitals were off the chart, so they knew I was awake. But all of these things have happened, and I'm just now realizing those of us who have so much faith in the Lord, the devil will attack us over and over and over again, but the Lord will always bring us through it. Don't ever give up. Don't give up. Don't give up on life. Don't give up on the people that you love. Don't ever give up on yourself. And most importantly, don't give up on God. He loves us. And the things that we suffer here won't even compare to the rewards that we have in heaven. We're all sinners. Yes, I sin on a daily basis. I have a potty mouth sometimes. And even in my thoughts, sometimes I sin because I keep thinking about, you know, this person is not a good person, or, you know, just things like that. But the Lord knows that I love Him, and I know the Lord loves me. I pray for all of us, because y'all, we are living in the last days. This administration that we have now is causing chaos in the entire world. It's not just in the United States. The United States is Babylon. Okay? And all of this confusion and chaos that's being stirred up in the world is only going to get worse. Because you know in the Bible it says that we have to all be in chaos, and then the Antichrist will come and give us fake peace. And after the facade is gone, we will all suffer. But don't give up on God, you guys. We have to pull ourselves closer and closer to Him. So when you start to feel down, when you start to question, like humans do, like we all do, why God? Just remember, He's with us in our suffering. We're not alone. It is then that He is carrying us through it to the other side. And I truly believe that. I would be nothing, no one, and nowhere without God. And I want you guys to know that He loves us all. Suffering is a part of life. I have come to know that. And some of us will suffer more. And it's not just illness. Some people suffer mentally. Some people suffer emotionally. In all sorts of ways. Suffering is a part of life. So, try to be a good person to others. Try not to cause others suffering, heartache, heartbreak. Be honest with the people that you care about and with yourselves. And always, always go to God in everything.